Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the everyone's favorite day of the week. I guess it depends. Depends. I like Fridays. Fridays are good. Futures. Nasdaq's opening about a 0.5% lower, so Dow's opening higher. S&P's pretty much break even. Small caps again don't really matter. They basically break even. So we're basically break even. Nasdaq obviously significant points over the last couple days. If we take a look, where we're opening, let's get a number on the Qs. 331, 333.11. 333.11 means 1.25% to all-time high. Doable. Absolutely doable. And I still have an expectation. That today that we do something like that again. You're going to get this when you get these gapping scenarios where you get this take profit on futures. I mean, we have it again. We have the candles here where we had these sideways trading days. The S&P is probably a better example, where you get these sideways trading days after a candle like this. After a big buy day, you get take profit. We have not gotten take profit on this rally yet. It's again, yes, technically, you should be getting price movement where on continued trends and rallies within that, you're getting price moves that are taking at least some off because of short-term trades in the rest. So take profit should happen. You don't just go in a straight line, right? It's nice when it happens. It's definitely difficult to manage positions. It's hard to continue to push those positions because you're worried about that take profit day. We have to give it some room, right? And so, I mean, again, S&P's most tickers. Think about when we look at futures right now where we're opening completely flat again. The only tickers that are down are again mega caps because mega caps are the only thing that make up that Nasdaq average. So when you look at these, right, these are the only thing that are opening a little bit lower, and so everything is still running, everything's still going. I mean, there's no reason to bet against it, and there's no reason I would say not to put bets that it's going to continue. The one thing that the market's not doing, the one thing the market's not doing that I want to do today, and I emphasized a little bit yesterday, is yes, we're a part of this move. And yes, I want to push those positions. But what I also want to do is I want to capture this move, possibly today, and I talked about that, taking profit on some of these moves, that the position that you're in, you're either deep in the money or you're in a position that's not really betting on this move specifically. You might be betting on something that was a little bit further flatter. I want to have positions. I want to put positions on this weekend that bet on this to continue because no one's doing that. Everyone's betting that the market will keep going up, but no one's betting on this. This is the average trend. I went ahead and put our old trend lines back in on the new layout here. This is the average trend. This is the velocity the market runs on. And through that, there's a lot of different price action that happens. This trend here is a completely different animal, right? It's a completely different, it's just a whole different thing, right? This is very sharp. No one is betting on this to continue into next week. Nobody. Everyone thinks the market's going up and they realize that, okay, we're barely having take profit days. Obviously, we're all bullish. And there's still expectation that NASDAQ will go all-time high. Obviously, everyone's buying it, right? But is everyone betting for this to continue this like this? This is quite the rally we're on, right? No. And so there are, how do you do something like that? Well, again, it's how you select your contracts. It's the way in which you're going to buy those. Or what's happening right now? Well, people are going to be selling their shorter term contracts, right? Because they're running out of time. You do not make money on the tail end of those contracts. That's the reality. You do not make money on the tail end of contracts. The exponential, the time decay that happens, the fact that you need the move to continue, you can get a move like this, and then if it starts to just, it keeps going up, but it starts to slow down, you'll start to lose value on the contract, or at least just be break even, right, for quite some time. it's when the move continues like this that those contracts that are shorter term, let's say April monthlies, that's a little extreme, going into May monthlies, those contracts, again, they're going to start to lose that exponential factor. What I want to do is take advantage because people are going to be selling those, right? You're going to be selling them. And now, yeah, you're going to be kind of, we are buying within a move, but we've already captured the move and we're already making money. We're just going to keep betting on the same thing. But to keep betting on the same thing, you have to pick up a new position, right? You either put everything in that you could through this move or not. Now the idea is here that we're still buyers, we're not holders. That's the hardest part, is that we're not holders, we're actually buyers, and we've been buying the whole way. You have to keep doing that. So there are going to be opportunities to take advantage of those shorter term contracts that most people expect they need to get off their hands, because they're going to start to, it's not going to continue the move. What's going to happen is, as those get sold, it's going to create that price where you get that exponential once again if this did continue, because the point value you'd get for this move, so let's say this move here on the NASDAQ is 9%. If you get 9% here, those contracts would be, it would be double the move in here. I mean, it would be double the move over here. It would easily be double on the options that you got here, because there's so much more risk involved. Look where the price is comparatively, right? Now, I'm not saying it's going to do that many points, but for just even a few days of a swing, you're going to make significantly more than anything in this move, because you have significantly more risk. But if this is the plan and that's what we're betting on and the market's doing it, are we really taking on more risk for doing it? The only risk we're taking is the price. The price is more expensive, but that does not change the reward that's possible there. Just like you got the reward for here, the reward here will be paid on an exponential for the price. And so that's something I want to look for today, how we do that. There's a lot of different ways to do it. We've already put a lot of these positions on, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to those positions I would put on would be because I take profit on moves from here coming into today. I don't know. I don't know how many I'll take off. I really don't know. I think most Aprils should be off. You have April monthly, so those should have already been off. I took those yesterday, the day before. May's, if you're in things like mega caps here, you take off May's here, probably not. You're just gonna keep pushing that position. So even like May monthlies, it wouldn't take off. I mean, you want to keep pushing this, of course, right? But you also want to be able to keep buying, because there's such a factor there. So opportunity cost wise, there's definitely situations where if you're in the money and you start to lose that momentum on your options, and you're, let's say you're up a certain percent, and then it starts to teeter off because again it needs to continue on an exponential, then you definitely can say to yourself, okay, if I take profit here and I now enter new contracts that offer me a new exponential, again, this transition idea, you're just kind of transitioning on your own because of your own portfolio, then that's definitely going to be a good decision. I mean, you'd have to have practice doing that, but because there is risk involved of just exiting your position for a new one. But there's definitely circumstances here where that's definitely possible. Because again, I would say that not everything has, you haven't captured everything. And so there's definitely still ways to go capture the next move, because again, it's risky to do so. Yeah, we captured this here, but is anyone trying to capture this move, or are they just holding it through here? And right, so keep some of those ideas in mind. I posted like the blink chart, for instance. We took the blink trade over here, right? We took the blink trade. We preempted the trade, and then we got yesterday the big move. It's like even something like here, right? Can you not take the trade now, right? Because it did 13% yesterday. Can you not take the trade now? And so this is where, okay, we're now a holder in this position, but one of the biggest decisions to make as a trader is when to know when to put more cash into a position, put more emphasis on a position, and then make that position larger. Or if you took profit on a position, you know when to re-enter it, right? That buying factor is such an important piece. And it doesn't matter what the price is, because the price is going to translate to a different reward every time. And so the higher the price is, the more risk, which means the bigger the reward. But you want to do it in a specific way, right? You don't want to be doing the same thing as before. So let's say over here you bought 42s and 45s or something. I'm just making up numbers. Are you going to buy the same thing there? No, because it doesn't really make sense to do that. You actually want a different factor, you want a different exponential there. You want to be able to get something that is going to ramp into that at the money point and then go from there, because you're expecting it to go further. You're not expecting it just to reach a price. You're expecting it to get to that price quick and then continue, right? And so it's those points that you make on the very beginning going into it, and that's where the out of the money part, that risk, that's why you get that exponential curve on it, because all of that going into the at the money point is all the risk because it has no value up to that point, right? And so this weekend we're looking for those. Going to have some fun. Again, we're in very solid positions. I've talked about all the positions. We've had a lot of great trades. All the mega caps coming off, extremely strong, right? Apple obviously was a very nice trade from down here. When we look at things, like Google, it's just ridiculously strong, right? Pushing the average up. Microsoft, Apple, a part of the Dow, so we're already a part of these plays here. I haven't posted a Microsoft chart because it's just, again, just the disgusting mess in here, but we broke out of it. Those trades were very nice. And then I talked this week about all these trades like Snap, Twitter, that are within this range of, you have a support up to the trend line, and that's where we're making our money. We're going to make our money in there. Again, you have take profit coming in today, so you're going to make decisions off of that. A lot of these, again, already reached the trend line, and so that's where, again, you get something like a take profit here. A lot of them, so for instance, Twitter, right? You're already here. And so this is where, again, the trade is from here to here. That's the trade. And so that when these take profits come in, you're technically already, right? You've already made a decision to take the profit at the resistance, and then you're transitioning to re-enter. Or if the price just comes all the way down to zero, right? Those worst case scenarios, well, we've already exited because that's how we trade. We trade in between these levels. That's the way we trade, and it protects our downside. We may not get the maximum gain, but we're going to get the maximum downside protection while still making the highest reward in that zone, right? And it's usually within that zone that has the most alpha, because yes, price can continue, but we'll still be a part of it. We're just going to have to pay another price for it because we want to trade it in areas in which we're betting on speed as well, because that's, again, where our exponential is, which is what the alpha is. It's not that you get to bet on, oh yeah, it's going to go to $80, so I'm going to buy some shares and go to $80. No, we're going to say it's going to go from 62 to 72 in a fucking week, and I'm going to make the money on that. It's not that it's going to take 2 weeks. 2 weeks you'll lose money, right? In 1 week you can make the money because maybe you bought April monthlies like a moron, like some of us did, right? So there's some examples like that, right? Uh, Very good week for all these charts. Again, there was a ton of software companies and everything that I posted. We don't need to go through them all. We already did it. Things that are interesting this morning. Calm continued. All the communications madness that happened yesterday. We'll see how these turn out today. Things like Verizon and T were down. And then we had some silly charts, obviously, put some pretty big points on. In terms of semiconductors, we'll see how these continue today. Again, the NASDAQ is down because of the big boys, the mega caps, one of those larger tickers. There should be some sort of take profit on those, right? I do have expectations of those going to higher, so we'll watch those from the open, see if those are bid or not. But semis and things like that, we'll see. They are a little bit outside of those things. Things like EVs are a little bit outside, right? And so I want to see things like this was down. This would be sort of that other side of the trade that I've been talking about, where they're a bit higher and now they're going to continue. We'll see if today this translates with mega caps starting to take profit on the move that they're in while still trending, and if some of this other side of the growth angle actually puts the points on. So we'll see what the relationship is between the two. There's nothing pre-market that we can really see here. I think things like travel are interesting. We obviously put those positions on. Again, it's within a trend, but we're in these areas again where mega caps take liquidity and demand. And so we get these interesting areas where we get pullbacks that they don't really add up to anything. I mean, you could call them take profits in the trend and things like that, but they usually don't look like that. And so what we do here, right, is if you're bullish on something, you buy on the pullback. That's what you do. You just buy on the pullback. You might get stopped out a bunch of times, but you're usually not ever losing money on those. And so, for instance, we take the CCL, we took the airlines and everything yesterday at the low. At the low. We took it over here at the low. And now it's up almost 1% in pre-market. So most of us are going to be, this was almost 2%. Now we're going to be almost, 3.5%. It's not a bad day. It's not a bad day, and it almost adds up to the point where you could take that profit today. Most of these I want to push over the weekend because that's kind of the point of the trade, is that you get a big baseline, and then that protects your whole weekend. And so there's a lot of trades like that, right? That, again, they're coming up to their high. The AAL trade, the DAL, all these trades, depending on what they do today, right? We'll see. And if you can get those over the weekend, then those are great trades. Because, again, the short-term volatility on travel is ridiculous. Value is still doing well. The Dow is obviously up to open today. This is where, again, I've talked about I'm not taking this position off because it continues to protect our downside while still earning us this idea of income, right? It continues to be a stream of income as these prices continue to increase. You're not getting hurt on this whatsoever. Growth will hurt us. That's why we have to trade it in between those levels, and you have to do these very short-term trades and operate in the way where we can operate. The Dow is a very long-term sort of scenario where, yes, we capture these moves through some sort of short-term, but we keep pushing through a long-term sense, right? It's not something that with the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ will be violent, right? We're on this, and we can also say that it's going to continue like this, which is, again, a little contrary, but I do expect it to. But you're going to need to take profit. And when the take profit happens here, it just happens abruptly, right? And you just are going to lose a bunch of value on your like you're going to go from up 100% to losing 50% in like an hour or something, right? Like that shit will happen. Growth will do that. It's very violent both ways. Like that's going to happen, right? That'll happen, and we'll just react in the moment, right? The value side doesn't do that. It barely moves in the first place. So those situations, that's where you want the majority of your money still, while taking advantage of risky plays here, right? We'll see what the relationship is. Everything's so risk on. I mean, we talked so much about 10% corrections and everything that are going to come in. I mean, where's the take profit, right? It's not even happening. So we'll see. We'll see, right? The charts that I just posted, I know I posted them late, posted them in the morning. There's some really interesting ideas in here, I think. I think when you look at these, I would take a look at them real quick. It's not that they're really the best setups for today, to be honest with you. I don't think there's anything that really screams that please buy me at open. We can watch it from open, but maybe be careful with them. I would say charts like this is like a great example of, you can get a big buy day. This is 25.5%. And then some of you will be like, well, what do you mean it's going to go another 20%? What do you mean you can buy it over here, right? It already did the move, didn't it? Right? It's these kind of ideas. Taking the trade here will get you paid if it does make any sort of move, right? And so, again, it's these kind of ideas that, yes, there was a bunch of momentum yesterday on it. I don't know what this company is. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't matter. It's buying on a candle over here, and then you have upside. It's the same trade that we've been talking about, right? It's the same trade. If we can get that velocity right there, capture that. That's it. That's the trade. But it's because where you're buying, in the way in which it's moved, there's a lot of anxiety and fear over there. You're going to be able to make a play there. You will be able to make a play if that happens. And again, these are just plans. Doesn't mean it's absolutely going to happen. But they're plans, right? They're plans. The TSN chart, I mean, I'm pretty aggressive on this one. This is pretty damn aggressive, but that's how we do things. So again, we're betting on things to continue to move here, which is not something other people are betting on, not in the sharpness that I am. So it doesn't need to happen, but I'm prepared for it. So if it does happen, I'll capture it. If it doesn't happen, I won't. I'm not gonna lose anything. I'm still betting on the same thing everyone else is, just more aggressively, right? So interesting charts, I think. I mean the Etsy move. We've already talked about all these charts uh, that have been at a high. The COVID winners doing well yesterday. We took the Peloton trade. Uh, those kind of trades. We'll see how those do today, right? We'll see how those do today because uh, again, we don't know until the market's open. We're opening 0.5% lower. Let's see, where's the S&P right now? S&P is gonna be completely break even. Dow's looking good. So again, we'll see where everything opens. And I would say again, those of you that are, I think everyone's in position, but you definitely want to you have to make some trades. Uh, you definitely need to trade today. So those of you that are just in positions hanging out, I would say you still need to do something today. Um, I don't think you can get away with just pushing your positions over the weekend. I think this is an area where you should be making some sort of change, because if you do have this position here, then there should be something you're taking home. You should not be going home this week without making any money, which can happen when we just keep trending to the upside, where you're just sitting on a big unrealized gain. I mean, I know the feeling when you're sitting on a big unrealized gain for a whole fucking week or maybe two. It doesn't feel very good, because and this is where I talk about the market can get anxious, because it's like we're all sitting on gains and it's like, who's going to take it first? Because once it starts to take, then everyone has to get out of it, right? That's not exactly what's going to happen, because no one's exiting long positions, but we all know that's going to happen on the options. That will happen on the options going into expiration. So this is where, again, we need to manage that, our ability to hold things, and also the market's behavior of things. I would be taking things home, guys. I'm betting on the market to go further, but guess what? I'm still gonna take some fucking money home. You need to pay yourself, and I'm not talking take the money and then put all of it back. No, I mean you're gonna take profit on things and maybe keep the cost basis in your fucking account. Or for some of you, you don't have much money in your account, so you're gonna keep a lot of it in your broker, but you should be taking some of that money back. It should be in your fucking bank account. You got a checking account or something? Great. Throw it in there. You got to take something home from this, because again, I think Mobsky had a good question yesterday talking about it. It's like, well, during these times that are so bullish like this, it just, everything feels good, and we can try to take advantage, and it's just sort of this one-way trading. But it's when the market's down that it feels bad, because we're not really making money, and you don't really know. And so it's like a period of time you're not making money. And that's why I talk about, you have to make all the money here. You have to take advantage of the situation there. And that's why I talk so much about when the move starts. I'm like, you have to do something, guys. You have to do something. Like, how many times did I say that when this growth move started? I'm like, you got to do it. You got to get in there. And every day it keeps breaking out. I'm like, you got to get in there. You got to do it. Because if you don't capture this move and make all the money now, the market isn't going to go straight up forever. And so there's times like over here where those of you that this is your full-time job too, it's like you're not going to make much money in here, because that's how the market works. You don't get to make money every day. You're going to have red days and green days. And it's on these weeks like this that you need to make all the fucking money to cover all this. You're going to make enough money if you capture this, right? And so that's where maximizing that moment, right? When it's your moment, you got to take advantage of it. You got to make the money then. This again, you're still here. And do you know when this is going to stop? No. We'll react when it does. But you can't cut yourself off, and it'd be so easy to like have this Monday here and then be like, okay, that's it. I'm going to take my profit. Uh, you know, that should be enough. That's plenty. Did pretty well, and we'll look for the next breakout. Because again, we trade breakouts. We don't really trade when price consolidates. We don't, because we want to maximize our ability to take advantage of all of the breakout. And that's what we do. Otherwise, you just be a long-term investor, right? So we're short-term. We trade the breakout and try to make as many percent in there, hundreds of percent if we can, in that area, so that during times like this, we're not going to take short-term trades inside the consolidation because it's not. We just don't really have enough information to do it. Long-term traders, this is all long-term trading. Obviously, short terms are in here, but they're not doing well. Long-term traders will trade through everything over multiple years. We want to make the money in this fucking 2 weeks right here, right? And so again, remember, we're still here. You're not out of it. You're not out of it. And so that's where it's hard to tell because it's like, well, I just don't know where we're going. We don't need to know. We'll figure it out when it happens, right? You're going to get price. Well, price is going to tell us, right? There's no feeling that you get, no tingling sensation that's going to fucking dictate when the market's going to go, right? You gotta let this keep going and keep betting on what's happening, right? You ride it all the way through. And I'll just reiterate my comment from yesterday is that those people that think the market's crazy for being like this, like it has been over since COVID and how it's disconnected, they're crazy for not riding the price. They're literally the crazy ones for being on the sidelines. You have to be out of your mind to sit here and call the market crazy all the time and then continue to not be involved. They're the ones losing money. That's just the reality. And so there's no reason to bet against it. Price will consolidate, but through this breakout, there's so much money to be made. And again, the earlier you get in, the more you're going to make. And then on the tail end, the same thing. If you're able to keep trading at that tail end, you will make more money. And you want to put it into a bubble perspective. We're in a Fed-induced bubble. Absolutely. We're nowhere near like being into a fucking popping bubble, and it probably will never happen again in human history because of the goddamn Fed. But you know where most of the gains happen? In the last third of the bubble. So it's the same within a move. The last third of a move is going to make you the most points, right? So keep that in mind because if that's where all the money's to be made, then you want to be pushing it all the way to that very peak if you can, right? That's just how it's going to work, right? So let's see. Let's see what we get here. Maybe we'll keep it on the NASDAQ because that's opening lower. Let's see what we get, how bid we're going to be. I'm expecting all-time high, baby. All-time high. Maybe we'll put some trades on here at open, just put some April monthlies on to bet for Monday, but I'm already doing that through individual positions. Let's get to it. Let's get involved. It's gonna be fun. This has been a really fun week. Obviously, when you're making money, everything's fun. But remember, keep the. You want to definitely keep your mental the same, whether the market's up or down. That's why I always talk about it doesn't matter if it's red or green. You got to be trading it the same way. So, however you manage to do that, that's where when things do get up to a high point like this, you have to remember how you think when we're at a low point, right? And you want to keep that same discipline. And that's where that discipline where things are pulling into a low and we're buying at that support, and it's a scary trade to make, right? It's scary to go buy at lows. I don't mean Lowe's the store. I mean at a low point on a pullback, it's scary to buy there. But because it's scary to buy, you're going to get paid, right? It's the same when we're buying at such a high point, right? It's the exact same thing. You're buying at a scary point because the price is high. So you are taking risk, but you still have to be able to do that in the same way. So whether you look at the chart as it's pulling back and it's a scary place, think of it in the same damn way. Is that it's at a high point, it's a scary fucking place to buy it. Right now everyone's buying. You have to keep buying. You have to keep going with what's happening, right? See how big we get here on Nasdaq. Again, this is all dominated by mega caps, so we're watching the cues. It's not really the the most accurate of indices. Have some nice stars so far. Oof. Oof. Yeah, most of those low trades that we have taken the last couple days, I am pushing those over the weekend if possible. Those travel moves and everything we captured at lows. Clean energy, of course. Those are definitely for Monday trades. And then the thing here to remember is that if we're trying to make bets and plan on Nasdaq all-time high, like today, going going into the weekend, um, you have to capture that move because if you're going to push that over the weekend, you're putting significant risk on for short-term plays because if you can't wait until the close or something to put a trade on. Not today. Not today, I would say. Now, depending on what the move is here, obviously things are different. But if you want to continue to bet on the market going up, you would need to make the trade now, or like a low during lunch or something, right? You would need to capture that point move today because again, it doesn't make sense if you're going from break even over the weekend, you're going to lose your fucking money. You can't do that. So those of you that do want to bet for weekend trades or something, since we're at a high point in the trend, you don't get to wait until the last minute to close so you don't have to see any price action and it's just a bet. No, you need to trade and you're gonna need to try to time a low. Your timing's not gonna be perfect and you're gonna have confidence to be able to gain some points. And if you don't gain points, then of course then trade's not going through the weekend, right? You don't gain at least something, at least 10%, you're not pushing that trade through the weekend. You don't have any baseline. No base. Right? So take profits, continue here. We're not getting full bid yet. We got big spreads coming through. Like this is the Apple spread right here. That's the 0.5%. Get some big spreads coming through. So the BSIG continued from yesterday, by the way. That I talked about it from the trend line here. Once you're in the channel, it gets very bullish. Very easy to get pushed out of this position on the gap here. You got to be able to continue a position like that, right? Honeywell continued, obviously, the Dow play. That's where a lot of the Dow points are coming from. Com continued talking about that. We'll see what 1681 brings us. GE continues. Obviously, the trade from yesterday at the low was very nice, and we talked about these low trades. I think some of you brought up that at the same point. This is a great, a couple of you brought it up in chat. This is a great point to be getting in. We're all over the Dow play still in value because there's not much downside, right? So those trades continue to be very nice. On the travel side, again, let me put the other watch list on. We do have things like retail stores still doing very well. So that's nice. Hog trade. Those of you that took that hog trade with me, we got the gap up. We obviously had to make decisions on the gap up. I'm guessing most of you took profit on that. I did, so that's going to happen. The hog trade's still going, though. Industrials are still going. QRTEA, retail, internet, all that shit. The thing to remember I talked about yesterday is the gamma squeezes. You're going to get all the meme stocks. I mentioned GoPro yesterday. Again, this chart has already been doing significantly well. I didn't post like a pennant in here because I think it's just redundant to post something like that when that's literally not what's happening. So I didn't post that, but it's all squeeze related. Keep that in mind. Com fucking blew through there, by the way. So if anyone didn't take that trade, yeah, you're too late now. So good luck. It's already up over 4%. Let's see. Anything else to mention? Banks are also doing well. We'll see how that does. Again, we're just continuing that position, so keep that in mind. The rest of aerospace and defense is still working its way with GE and the rest, BA, all of them. Rad, for instance, talked about that with WBA for some of the squeezes involved. I'm directly involved in those, so again, do it at your own expense. I put the X trades on, so we get the X trades. There's almost no reason, zero reason not to take that trade. So memes aside, there's zero reason, I would say, not to take that trade. So even from the low yesterday, and we talked about it yesterday, I mean, there's absolutely zero. So keep that in mind because, again, we take the ones that they're going to give us. Absolutely. The healthcare trades, I talked about these. We put, I talked about these pullbacks and how they're not so much you buy short-term plays, but you're putting on the same idea of a trend here. So I talked about these. This is continuing here. Again, this healthcare play is so important. I think so many people missed this trend here. This is, again, we bought at the low here and captured this whole move here across all of them, right? Across all of them. And this move is now continuing here. You don't put a bet like some short-term bet on. You put longer-term contracts to capture a whole trend so that you can go through some little, again, you're going to have days that are red. but you want to be able to push through all those over a long period of time, which means longer dated contracts. Short dated contracts, you do not hold through pullbacks. Longer dated, you can hold through pullbacks while still getting a further and further potential as you go on, right? Okay. This move is going to be a lot of fun. So good job, everyone that took the low trades on travel. Nice trade for the weekend. Gonna be a lot of fun, and why not, right? Why not? You got to buy on the lows, something bullish. You buy it when it's pulling back. You don't buy when it's fucking going up. You buy it when it's going down or it's tightening, right? Yes, sometimes we have to buy it with velocity to the upside. Absolutely. But that's when it's on support. And usually, even then, I'll be preempting it and get confidence in a move. X is now 2. Okay, so we're getting that side of things. PAR off that support. Again, so easy to be like, well, it's did 25%, man. What do you mean? Okay. Retail stores are continuing. That should definitely move that sector. Again, 1 week to 1 week to April expirations. Those will cause squeezes. Ford, a nice starting here. Again, I talked about EVs a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen, but with Nasdaq being with the growth being bullish, this move was a little. I guess it's more technical when you get some of the take profits here. This tightening here on Tesla and things like that. I mean, it's this time. This time, it leads to the upside. All the other times, no, right? This time is different, right? The market's in a different spot right now, right? You should be betting that this time is different. That's again, that's the same as like betting that the Nasdaq will continue to go the upside. This time is different. And so this tightening and consolidating is not like the ones before where it led to more and more downside. We're betting that it's not. And now it's not, that's not an absolute certainty. Absolutely not. And the Nasdaq is already in such a high move that it doesn't need to continue here. Well, that's what we get paid for. That's what we get paid for. Because little Johnny and Greg are buying are selling over here. They're selling and we're buying. So this is where the market makers aren't completely the ones involved. It's someone else in the market selling and we're fucking buying and we're stealing someone's lunch today. So grab the lunch pails. Let's go. Fucking trying to ruin the vibe. Sell it down. Sell it down. Here, here, give me one moment. All right, all right. H1 is holding that value. Very nice. We're getting some of the points back on energy and the oil side as well, which again we've talked about. There's some short-term volatility, and our trades are not. They're not betting on some sort of next week. No, no, no. I've already talked about it. Anything on the energy side is betting on a longer term sort of thing, right? And so whether you even take a bet on that or not is completely up to that point. So you only make money on short term, then don't be taking the trades. But we are getting points on some of those. Something to note. Again, that whole thing is a mess. So whole thing's a mess. But Lucker's continuing from that. Again, this price action was terrible, so we put the trade on, bet on it that it's going to get out of this shithole. It looks like it's leaving the shithole, so looks pretty damn good. Pretty good there. Nice trade. USDK is continuing. Talked about these from the lows. Very nice there. See what that does. Okay, I want to do it. BCL, we're now at 2.25. Oof. Must be hard for some. Oof. Oof. Clean energy. Okay. Not great. Not great moves. Definitely not great moves. What do I want to look at? Jesus. Not great moves. Continuing to the downside. Continuing to the downside on a lot of these. So do we double down? I think we double down. But they would need to be semiconductors are doing well, but they're taking demand from our semiconductor positions continue to do very well here. AR is holding that. The okay. Let's fucking bet. Feels very strange. Very strange. We didn't hold anything yesterday on any of those charts. Our lowest would be down here. I think I'm going to actually use ICLN over the individual tickers because I can't really judge they're all sort of taking off points. I think I'm going to use ICLN and we're going to put some bets on that this shit's going to be up Monday. We're going to put some bets on. And now this is not the smartest play, but it's more of the flow should be here. RCAF, what the fuck? Load it. RCAF is holding here. This got the flow. This should be continuing. Okay, so we'll use ICLN. Use ICLN and put a bet on for Monday. Put on now. Again, not the greatest trade, but just revenge trading, of course. Oh, I'm continuing. Oof. Fuck. Must be hard. Must be difficult. Yeah, BGFV. CCL's 2.5. We continue. We'll have to see what happens at this trend line. Oh, 266. We'll see what happens at that trend line. React to it. I talked about it. I mean, if you have short terms, then that is 100% transition. And short terms are like, wow, that's a lot of money. Probably take that home. That's how you judge that one. I mean, it doesn't really show itself any better. I mean, what are we gonna do here? Wonder what's gonna happen over here. Did you ever mention apple, red to green? Fucking wonder. Oh, let's fucking go. Somebody put that guy in jail. What a sick fuck. What a sick human being. We'll see what some of this move turns into. You got value in growth opposing each other now because you had value open higher, start to take profit from here. Growth open lower, started to go bid. They're gonna converge and then go move together. I mean, today would be the day that we get more intraday movement, I would say. If you think about this week so far, we've been just trading flat, right? Even though we had a gap over here, we've been just trading flat, 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 flat. Today would be the day that we get fucking movement because you're either taking profit or you're betting on more, and those are very different things. So there's not going to be tightening as much. There's going to be a lot more. This would be a lunch where you're not going to have equilibrium because everyone's betting on two different things. There is no in between. There is no such thing as a holder. Not in this market right now. If you guys look at that what I posted in my channel, the flows chart. I don't know if, I mean, I've talked about flows so much, but when you actually look at the number and hear the number, in the past 5 months, less than half a year, in the past 5 months, more money has flowed into the equity market than in the past 12 years. In the past 5 months, there's been a larger inflow into the stock market than in the past 12 years combined. So 5 months greater than 12 years. That's a pretty fucking insane number. That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. That's from the financial fucking crisis, the bottom. There's been more money that's been put into the market in 5 months than since the bottom of the fucking financial crisis. I think we might be bullish, to be honest with you. We just fucking may be bullish. I'll tell you. Can't believe that. We knew that there's been inflows. Even ETF price goes down, but the inflow goes up. But that number, oof, really hard to grasp. Underwear's doing well again. To buy some new underwear. 2023 looks good. I mean, we're up 10 basis points on the S&P. Dow is fucking cruising. Look at this shit. Really makes you wonder. By the way, I ordered something back on the 5th. And then I got a message from Amazon saying that it's being late. I still haven't got any update. What the hell's going on here? We're sorry your delivery is late. If you have not received your package by today, you can come back here the next day for a refund or replacement. That was like yesterday. Order on the 5th, it was supposed to come on the 7th. Or the next, or no, yeah, I ordered on the 6th. It was supposed to come the 7th. 2 days. Haven't heard a goddamn thing. My first time. I don't know if I'm supposed to call someone or what. I'm just not going to receive what I bought. I got to go get a refund and buy it again. What is this, fucking 2004? Yep, short Amazon. Honestly, that's never happened to me. Like, we have, like, same-day delivery in New York. And so I ordered something big, so, like, a day. But now it's like, what? It's in a warehouse here in New York, it says, for the last update. I don't know if I should just go over there and go fucking pick it up, but don't understand. Literally don't understand. Now it's been 2 days that it's just sat there. I guess it's just robots, right? Hey, you robot. Hey, you got a box for me? Feels pretty stupid, though. I don't like to spend money and then not get delivered and then have no fucking update. Pissing me off. VLDR continues. It's been a very nice controlled move so far. Not many surprises. See how many points we get here. That looks like a lot of points. And this is one of the prettier charts, so I would like to get that because then I can brag to friends, which is the most important part. Yeah, and we took this trade down here. I made up some bullshit excuse to you guys why I took it. I don't even remember, but it's on support. On support. Um, we'll see how that does. There's a lot of supply here, but I expect that to be a bit of a gravitation. You shouldn't get hurt on this, but you're obviously not. You're trying to do more than not get hurt. You're trying to get paid. So, we'll see. We'll see what that does. Interesting weekend trade to have. That's for sure. An interesting weekend trade. Okay, Dow's coin. REITs continue. Eva is a fucking mess. Can't take that. He's pulled back. Honeywell is pulling back a little bit. Still up 2%. That's just gone. TSXP is gonna go what? 35. Home builders are taking off again. What I want to do here. And we're just fucking rallying, so I don't know. Just keep pushing some of them. We'll just keep pushing some. We bought more. We're betting on all Nasdaq all-time high. Betting on the market going up again next week. That's it. That's what we got. We ain't changing it up. The script doesn't change around. Yeah, different year, saying the same things. I'm reading the same script that I read a year ago. Yep, all-time high. Buy some more. Okay. Oh, market's going down for a month. I'll see you guys in a month. The S&P looks fucking great. All the travel moves are doing pretty well. DL is getting a little bit pushed down, which is interesting because that's the fucking chart I posted. So not specifically, we took all the trades. I actually even said that you could take the Jets trade, which is kind of silly, but um, I mean, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Obviously, we prefer individual tickers, but trying to make a point. Banks are holding that value. Energy's getting some of the bid. What are we doing on like some of these the big boys here? AMD hasn't gotten bid off that low yet. Again, AMD is the most bearish out of all of them, but it's still holding. It's slow. I'm gonna keep pushing that position. I've taken a little off all of them over the time, but just because it's a lot of points, but the risk is still worth further and further. And again, unless you have very short term contracts that you should already be taking profit on, anyone here that had April's already exited that trade, so we don't need to worry about that. But we're certainly expecting more. I mean, when you look at this shit, I mean, it's again the Nasdaq situation of coming out of this rally here. You're either here or you're betting on it's gonna go further. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna just sit there and let your position go, or you're gonna add some again. Buyers. We're buyers. Transportation continues to go. Still not at the trend. I want to feel the all-time high across all indices. I want to feel it. Feel it. Now still at support, as Jeremy mentioned a little while ago. Still sitting at support. It's coming off a 2% gap here, but we had this we had this move into resistance, got rejected. So these are like this is all lining up, but it's a lot of volatility that definitely makes things fun. Definitely possible there. The fact that it didn't bounce is kind of BMW is still underneath. Oh, you mentioned Etsy. See how long it takes to get up to that level. Should be quick, but should be quick. Piton is doing the exact opposite. Should have mentioned it from we had looked at it a little earlier. We're getting take profit on it. It's again this is half of that's half of it. So you got a historical take profit, but it looks like a large number. So again, this is where you probably got fucked on contracts if you're in short term contracts, and so you had to get out of it. So again, depending on where you got in here, things get easier or harder. So 7.5% yesterday, and you could have maybe just lost all your value on contracts from 3.5%. So we're betting on this move to continue. So you're just gonna probably fucking be a long term investor now, huh? Bag holding. I'm guessing that's happened to a lot of people because that's what this looks like. That selling here is like a moment of oh shit. I expect to go bid. The rest of them going bid, right? Now they're just buying Etsy, which is good for us as well. I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes. It adds to this position as well. But interesting price action. Interesting decisions. Interesting decisions, that's for sure. Buy high, sell low. Okay. SQ is about to get to the trend line. We'll see what this does here. If we do not blast through this fucking thing, then I'm going to take the profit and transition it. I mean, I'll hold some of them. I have short term on this. Take my money home. What are we doing this weekend, boys? It's been really nice in New York, but now it's supposed to be kind of shitty this weekend. I hate rain. You won't get me out of my apartment when it's raining. I just can't do it. I'm a fucking bitch. I think we're going somewhere. JJR says it's snowing here. Come over. I don't mind snow. Okay. It's the rain. The rain. I have this really traumatic experience. My my last real job, since we don't consider this a real job, my last real job for an interview, I had to do multiple interviews for this position, and so like I transferred because I came back to New York, and so I had to do multiple interviews. The whole those few days that I did interviews, it was fucking raining every time I had to go do the interview, and so I was just pissed off. My shoes were wet. My suit was fucking wet. It was that rain that's like sideways in the city and then it bounces off the fucking ground and so you're just soaked. And so I had to wear a different suit every single day and it was just miserable. Like I got into the interviews and I was just so pissed off and mad. They probably thought that I was like I really didn't give a shit and that's why they hired me. They're like this guy really doesn't give a fuck about anything. Like he's just mad. And ever since then I can't stand the rain. I get so fucking angry. Get me out of here. Get in the Uber. I like to watch the rain. At home, having a coffee. A nice view. My Uber Eats driver's all wet. Give him a nice tip. Thanks for the Chinese food. I'm not going outside. Anybody else think this looks pretty artificial to you? Looks pretty artificial to me. Is that trading? Doesn't look like trading to me. It doesn't look like trading. Looks like money. Nice one. Looks like genuine price movement. Yeah, it looks like some real trading going on in here, huh? This is exactly how I do my trading. um, yeah, I'd say we're definitely getting some squeeze in. That's not that's just definitely not people trading. So definitely not people trading. That's all algo central. Algo central in there. This is a little bit more human, right? But this might turn into the same thing. The Dow is more uh uh more algo on the downside comparatively to the upside. But yeah, we're getting some we're getting into the shit, I would say. I'd say the volatility's incoming. I would say the volatility's incoming. This is a little this is predating some volatility. And I don't mean, oh, the spot VIX, Don? Do you mean the spot VIX that's at 17 that's going to go to 0 in the next couple weeks? That's completely off. It's just the S&P upside down. No, I don't mean like that. I mean, it's not going to look like this in the next 30 minutes, okay? It's not what it's going to look like. There's W. This is going to come out of here. The bet is it's coming out of there. See how that does. Gene is now at 18%. Got the trend lines on the other layout. Lazy. Hog. Where's my hogs at? What a dumb chart, huh? It's too bad we didn't. I mean, it fucking gapped up. We're gonna take the profit. I got some for the weekend. It would have been funny if we were able to hold from that other stuff. GoPro is making its move again. Very straightforward bet on a gamma squeeze. Very straightforward. I bet if we go look at this fucking thing, uh, that's just look at the volume in here. It's not even close. Like it's literally not even close. the, the sizing and everything, it's just not even close. The order sizing, everything, look at that. You can just see it in the candle. You don't even need to look at volume or anything. It's not even close. These are not even close. These are closing candles with more volume than any other candles. And this is an open one. These are big candles, by the way. Look, these are actually big candles. These are bigger ones. So again, that these kind of bets are the ones that we take because it's a space in which we are just better. We are just better. That's it. We're just better. So these kind of trades are definitely the one that I'm talking about where we just get paid on them. We just get paid for what we know. That's it. And then other people start to momentum chase it, and we'll get out of the positions, right? That's it. Where are we on some of the others? Look, WBA is coming down here. This is I'm not gonna fuck around with that. I'll wait for it. Wait for it. I'm not gonna sit in that position. These I'm fine with taking for weekend trades. AMC down here. Triple BY we're already having the time of our life over here. 5% yesterday. 20 basis points today. Again, I'm not doing the GME thing, but you can do it. Again, we have 1 week until expirations. Things are going to get squeezed. Things are going to be weird with this. Things are going to get a little weird. Reminder that when this goes to all-time high, you just had this you're going to have a very sort of euphoric moment in the market because as soon as that happens, everyone's calculation gets reset. There's no resistance now in the market whatsoever. Every single indice is at all-time high. In all of those charts that are now at all-time high, all of a sudden they turn into the market and they don't have resistance. Even if they're like further down, like an Apple or something, right? This doesn't have resistance here anymore. There is no such thing. This will just go to the all-time high. That's why we're still pushing this position. I feel bad having to make a trade that's like just so fucking normy, but like, I mean, what am I gonna not make the money over here? What am I, insane? Am I not gonna make 20% on Apple and make like 500% on contracts? Like, you have to be out of your fucking mind. Like, I shorted the damn thing for 300%. I better make twice that on the calls when it's a better trade. It does feel stupid. Like, it does feel bad, but reminder, when these go to all-time high, these charts here will just explode. This is just how the market works. This goes to all-time high. Every single ticker on this side of thing, on the aisle, will fucking explode. Just like how silly the small caps were. This value trade here led the market, and you know what it led to? It led to value actually absolutely exploding. And all the large caps in the Dow fucking exploded to the all-time high. And as that happened, it pushed all of them up. Pushed all of them. Yes, it's kind of a leading. This is sort of the other tickers are leading this move and causing this to happen. Absolutely, obviously, the mega caps are all this, but they're all in different places. And so, again, you got Google. This is the high that we're looking at over there. It's been past it for months. Right? Amazon is far behind. But what did I say? We took this trade, and when it crosses this level, it's see you later, sayonara. See you on the beach. I don't like this trade. We did not take this trade early. I hate the chart over here. It's terrible. It's just bad trading, and no one knows what they're doing. And it's like you guys in chat that want to buy it at fucking underneath the level every day. And it's the same thing. Everyone else is doing the same thing. This is very human trading. Very human, because nobody knew. It's so uncertain. And then, okay, well, I guess now we're doing it. Oh. Where are we on Netflix? Still underneath the resistance. This is a tough trade here. I'm gonna push it over the weekend. I have a good enough cost basis. Got rejected on the resistance. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Rejection over here. I have enough. Of a base. Enough of a baseline. And if you don't, it's a gap situation. The probability here of a gap is so high, and if you're not going to get rejected, like if price today does not go further down, as if it's going to trade down to the next level, then the probability that this gaps up on Monday is so high, in that even if that was only like 2% or something, less than 2%, the fact that if it clears that resistance level there on a gap and doesn't have to do that during the day, then that turns all those sellers into buyers, and there's no sellers up here. And again, NASDAQ all-time high would be a cause, and it could happen intraday. So I'm going to stay in that position. I'll let it go to minus a little bit as well, because I don't want to have to get back in. I'm not. It doesn't look like I'm going to be on a minus, not even at break even. But I do like that. I do like that spot. Let's see. Yep, Z. Z was fine. I didn't mention it because it was looking hairy, and I didn't want to be like, we're in this position. I didn't want to be like, well, it did bounce. It did bounce. We're very bullish on this play. I mean, the price action is just take profit. It's a big candle yesterday. A lot of buying yesterday. 6.5%, followed by some take profit. Now it's going to be up on the day, it looks, and see how that goes. Chewy has been fun. Chewy is, I talked about it. These charts, the Chewy chart and the Zoom chart, we are just getting involved, and it's sort of our next tier of plays that we're gonna bet on to come out of this low. It's getting demand stolen from it, and this is the situation where NASDAQ goes all-time high. It's these kind of charts that will wake up and just start to go. They're gonna just wake up, and so this and Zoom here, they're both the same. This trend line's the Chewy chart looks a little bit better, but this chart actually has the trend line, which actually helps with velocity a little bit. So if you look, they're similar, but the Zoom chart still has more of the trend. This is not like a determined trend. The Zoom chart is, and we have that Zoom trend line from when I first drew this pattern from over here, right? And we captured this breakout. You had that same trend line. It's the same trend line on this chart, which makes it a little bit better because you can swing it with support on the trend line. See? Okay, for these trades, right? So what do we do with these? What do we do with these? Right. So we we make the trade. We make the trade. We get a gain. We came down. We make the trade. We get a gain. We came down. What do we do with this trade? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Hang Seng is still trending up, which means it's still bullish. It's not coming down. It's not breaking it, which means we're going to bet over on the weekend. This here is, look at this, the higher high, higher low still. It's holding support. This is more and more bid, and see how it keeps opening? Why do you think it's opening like that? Because we keep bidding it. We keep betting on it, and it's causing their own fucking market to open higher because of our market. Their market is gonna go up with ours. That's gonna happen. We will drag this thing by the fucking ankles if we have to and throw it to the upside. I'm gonna take these trades. I don't know what the timing's gonna be today. I'm gonna take them again. Again, I'm not putting a big ass position on it. I'm for sure. But the point here is that if we get 1 goddamn percent, I'm about to make 30% on the damn thing. So it doesn't take very much. And if we get, I don't know, a few percent back to the high, I'm going to make 100% in a fucking day. So, gotta take it. Gotta take it. We'll see what time. SQ is at the trend line. It's not really negatively reacting, though. It's just sort of sitting there. Give it some time to work through supply. If it doesn't work through the supply, again, I will look to transition that position. I'm going to take the money home. If it gets rejected, I'm not going to watch it. I will just immediately exit it. So I'm giving it a chance with the supply here. But again, I will get back in the position. Obviously. Look at what I got here. Got quite the target. I mean, yeah, yeah, there's quite some supply in there. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, everyone sees it. There's supply right there. Yeah, on Chewy. That's the whole thing we're waiting for. Come, give us the volatility. Give us some swinging. Swing us up further. Healthy price action will definitely help. That artificial bullshit is not gonna get price to go further to the upside. You need some trading to happen. Okay, Etsy rejected. Not rejected, but it's being held so far. PR jumped off the support, bounced off the support. GRBK with the 2.25 spread here. That's very fun. Okay. This is the trade that I took profit on. We said we'll transition. You get the support buy here. It's about to be the exact same trade, it looks like. That spread there was pretty silly. 12%. That's definitely, I would take profit on it again. I don't know why the chart's trading like this with all this volatility here, but somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Again, the VLDR chart, we'll see what happens when we get to the trend line. I would expect it's only another 4.5%. Well, keeps coming down. The RTO is through 36.25. I don't really know what happens above there. We tried it yesterday. It didn't happen. So we'll see what that move looks like if it happens. Snap's a little slow out of the gate today. I mean, it's actually pretty bad. That looks pretty good. Sharp. Twitter sharp. They just open lower. I mean, look at the Facebook price action. We keep it going. Keep it going. DTS, it's on top of this level. This is where it would make the move, but we were here yesterday. It's got to be above there. See if it makes this move. OG down the Dow. See if we get like BA and G coming back through here. A lot around the break-even point. Oops, I just deleted the ticker. Okay. So we're break even across the board, but it's that doesn't really tell the story of the day so far, right? This is bid. We have a convergence of all indices and sectors right now, right? So value opened high, growth opened low. Now they're converging back to a break even. Now we get decisions. This is where I talk about volatility is coming. With this sort of artificial price action converging back to break even. Now where are we going? What the hell was the point of all that? We're not coordinated. We're not coordinating. No one's going, let's bring this down and let's bring this up. Bring this up and then have the S&P do whatever the hell this is. No one's coordinating anything, so the prices, it just happens to be converging right now. Where are we going now? We're not trading flat, that's for sure. We're not trading flat. You don't push up to be flat. Give us all-time high, baby. Give us all-time high. Doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. Okay, this is selling quite a bit. Airlines, travel, selling. It looks like DL is going to come down to support, and so it looks like we are going to get the support buy after all. Gonna hold this, whatever this local is. Boy, getting the volatility, boys. Again? Are we doing it? Are we doing it? Where you start to squeeze your butt cheeks. Let's see, didn't break through. Nothing's breaking through because the market's not breaking through. Just unless you're healthcare. Right, this is where the money's made. This is where the money's made. Let's see what we get here. How quick we can react to some things. Again, we still have these decisions about taking profit and putting transition trades on. When and where we do that is pretty important. I mean, Nasdaq's barely moving. The travel trades, though, no, these are pretty much on the cusp. Pretty much on the cusp. I'm just gonna get stopped out of them. FYI, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit here and time it. I'll get stopped out. I'll get stopped out. See what we get here. What do we get for some of the memer? Okay, that's selling. That's not moving. Seven. Okay, energy. Okay. There's that. That's some news. That's some news trading. There. So that's all news. Okay. Do you like this from here? That holds. Right on my break even on Ford. Not like an opportunity. I'm just buying. I'll just buy. Being taken off the top. Buy, 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 buy. Buy everything. Buy everything. Ugh. The S&P move was predictable. Predictable. I think it's the value sign that short-term volatility is just you can't guess. I would just remove this from your brain and just know where you entered. I would just have stops at your entry points, right? Can't be reacting to any of this. Not today so far. Not so far. So we are buyers. This is bullish. These kind of moves that look like this, Nasdaq looking like this, is bullish. Still bullish. Like the banks down here. Bullet or top of the list is not taking anything off. Kimmy coming off the low. Oh, gee. Are we gonna do this one? Still don't know how these are gonna move at all, but I do look at it. I'm betting on China. Fuck me. How do you put that on? I mean, how do you buy that? Again, I'm not buying it for a long term. It's gonna be for a short term. I think I might put it on right. Still waiting, but now it's getting pretty gnarly down there. I might buy this right here. Yikes. Baba, JD, EDD, Billy. Where's MTHI? CHI, oh, baby. Give it a minute. It's not gonna break that. Not gonna break. Okay, we're going to try to time the low of this one. Again, we don't need this trade to go up for a week. I need one candle. I need one candle. People are frantically selling right now. This is one of those trades you're just going to make 100% on because people are fucking psychos. I mean, it's pretty psycho to buy this right here. This is really stupid. Really stupid. This is not pulling back. All right, we're buying. Let's go. Let's go. give me these bad boys right here. Give me the Babas. Bring it up. Getting Baba, bring it up to fucking, I don't know, up to 230 or some shit. The Viacom Discovery thing, I don't know if that's like, that's probably a wait till later kind of, you don't need points today. None of that shit matters. So, but it is a weekend trade. All right. 222.10. 222.10 on Baba. Good luck. Take the JD billion. So Billy's a little bit easier. Just need 1%. Give me 1%. Be good. Give me 1% to the upside. Be good. Where is X? Okay, we're gonna take the X trade. Probably right now. That's tightening. It usually looks like that. I'm gonna put my X trade that I talked about on. Put the X trade on. It feels like this is like the point where we just had that. We had that artificial sort of uptrending, which is again that all-time high action, and then when we can expect volatility to come in, that volatility comes in as expected. You get confirmation. What happens? You digest that move. It's expected. You start to tighten. The equilibrium comes, and then you go back to square one, which is what? What's the bias? It's upside. It's bullish. Nasdaq's going to continue these kind of things. We can keep swinging back and forth during the day, but is this not the point at which your cost basis is probably your lowest? It's probably your lowest, right? Probability wise, this would be your lowest cost basis based on what we just sort of, there wasn't much price action, right? Not much price action, but for some of these weekend trades, all we need is a point or two uh, of green to be able to push that over the weekend and push it through the day, because it's going to cost more at the end of the day because volume's going to pick up. People are going to start to put the trades on. This is kind of a really, this is where that after 10 o'clock part comes in, where the trades are sort of made, and then there's this weird influx of, or weird sort of time where the volatility is not adding to the price. It actually is usually decreasing it through the fact that it's pulling back. So kind of a weird spot. Oh god, now I just got a tick here. Okay, well now we're waiting. Hold on. Give that a moment. We'll give that a second. We'll let it get, we'll get filled on passive. Get the passive fill. The passive fill. That's still going. Good. TME. Best Buy retail store still looking very good. I mean, why? Yeah. So the route in WBA, this is also a good spot for this. The same thing would apply. Yeah, I like this. They all, everything looks good right here. Whether it keeps going down or not, it doesn't really matter because it looks good right here. Yeah, and the market is expected to take, guys. The market's expected to take profit, and probability wise, it should. But we're betting that it goes up. That's the whole fucking point. So I'm already long position since 2 weeks ago. The new trades I'm putting on are what I talked about yesterday and this morning, of new trades to bet on, consistent trending to the upside, that consistent momentum. People are not betting on that. It's pretty cheap to do it. Pretty cheap. People are not doing it. Like to buy this shit and do it again. I mean, people aren't doing it. Like from the open, people aren't buying down here. They were selling. We bought it. Other people bought it too, but that's the point. Need to convince someone else it's worth it. This held, so we didn't get stopped out of there. I mean, we're still up 1.5%, so obviously not. The airlines are a little bit dicier, but these are pulling back, so we'll see. Is this the low? We're gonna bet with it. These ticks are not really showing. We get filtered. Looking very good on the megas. Tesla. We'll see how our EVs do. I'm putting the EVs on. I type of forward position rate. Okay, we'll see how if we put that back on. Okay, well, we bottom ticked it so far. Bottom ticked so far. See how it's gonna last a whole 5 minutes. A whole 5 minutes. Probably 2 minutes. Can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. Do not let him get away with it. This is not moving still. I might take that off. The work trade I talked about a little bit, but I have put a work trade on. I have put a work trade on. It's the same pattern as the rest of the tickers. Same pattern. It's just, again, you get all this, the new chart over here. Bing, 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 boom. And bottom triangle. Bing, bang, bing, 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 boom. UPS continues. Remember when I said transportation was pretty good a couple weeks ago? Yeah. It's still pretty good. So those positions we're going to keep pushing. We're not exiting. They barely move. There's not many points, by the way. This is, it looks like a lot, but it's actually, it's like a 2%. It's kind of stupid. Yep. Yep. The hell is that? One? Where is my package? Why don't you guys just fucking tell me? I mean, I just gave Amazon a loan. Better get some price action. You guys better be paying me. Pretty nice spot there as well. Nice tightening there. It's a nice candle to buy on. Nice candle to buy on. Like it. Retail stores do continue. Know that. DraftKings, that's an interesting trade to take. Definitely doable. The classic weekend trade. All these like retail things just keep going. So slow though. Salesforce has been doing very well. Tell you what, I'm doing very well. Dow is saving it. Dow is saving it. Dow so 12 basis points, sticking around. I mean, this is fine down here. I mean, already took the buy down here. You can definitely buy that again. Definitely can buy that again on BA, GE. Let's see what happens here. Still, again, we're still off of the support here, so I don't expect this to break. Definitely got whipped the fuck around. This is 2% candle in 5 minutes. This is good for it though. Very good for the position. From this low here, I mean, pretty damn good. All for it. All for it. Let's see. We'll see how quick this comes down. Some of these, the COVID winners are just, the volatility is always insane. So you're prepared for it. Prepared for it. What kind of healthcare? Mega cap's still looking very good. So mega caps hold, everything holds. S&P back to break even. On the sell side here, is it still energy side's down, and then we saw some of those other tickers. Okay, GWG coming off the low. It was only 5%. So again, all of these are big price moves. So it came to the trend, rejected from the open. They look very good. Very good. Okay, we're gonna buy this. We're gonna buy that shit. Discovery of Viacom was put on. We've put it on, baby. We've put it on. We've got all the meme shit on today. We got the Bob at the fucking low. We got the Viacoms, the Discoveries at the fucking lows. That's what today's all about. Get the Xers. Get the Xer. The Forder. The Forder. The Teslers. All at the lows. If it goes any lower, we get stopped out of everything, and we're back to square one. But good thing we're at square 10 from our long positions that we've made money on so far. ICLN, we're from the low. This is decent. This is decent so far. So we've bought everything at a low. That's a success, I would say, so far in terms of timing, because timing is terrible. Timing anything is fucking terrible. We'll see how we do here. We keep going, keep going. right, we'll see how this does. 10:47. We're already getting the lunch sort of vibe. I think everyone got tired out. Your package will arrive later than expected, but it's still on its way. It is currently in transit to the next facility. I'm gonna fucking transfer you to the next facility. Don't get it. I call these fuckers at lunch. Hey guys. Where do you get the nerve? Me. Who do you think you are? Hello, Don. I'm just a computer. I do not mean it to harm you. Guys, everything's going bid. What's going on? What the hell's going on? Stop them. Stop these fucking people. How do they do? Why do you let this happen? You guys are supposed to be doing the opposite. You gonna let us all run away with this again? Oh, another year, another championship. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's gonna be so hard sometimes. Fucking SeaWorld, let's go, baby. Let's go. That's a candle and a half right there. That's about to be the breakout. That's the breakout. I can see it now. You know what it kind of looks like is kind of like looks like that Free Willy. And then this is his blowhole. Oh, look, his blowhole is coming from the price action? That's right, folks. It's time to shamu this fucker. Fucking shamued out of my mind right now. Go on Disney. Disney is a streaming service, obviously. This is a great spot for it as well. I talked about these trades already. The question was whether we did it today or wait until next week once we get out of the growth trade, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it now. Not specifically second, but possibly. Could have done it anywhere in here. It's a lot of volatility. So was this. Just doesn't seem like we're getting rejected still, right? If this makes some sort of understanding that we're coming out of the trend line here, if we get some sort of, I don't know what it's going to look like, but anything that sort of gives us some sort of tolerance to not get cucked here. I'll take that trade. What are we gonna bet against Disney? That would not be very smart. BMW's still on there. Ladder with the nice jump. Hey, hey, the other way. The other way. Go the other way. The other way. Oh, you're supposed to go that way. This way. This way. Go. This way. This way. You can't go any further than, thank you. Can't go any further than that, okay? No lower than that because that's my break even. Go that way. Good job. Good job. No further. Don't go further down. These are doing good. Alive and well. How does he keep getting away with it, honestly? Someone's gonna stop this guy. I mean, he's just guessing. He's literally just throwing money at dumbass things. Getting sick of that. Okay, I gotta watch this candle here carefully. Okay, that's a nice candle. Okay, that's not terrible. Supply. So we're getting held at supply. We're already passed on the S&P. We're at all-time high on the S&P. We're right at the high on the Dow. We pushed to all-time high today again. Lunch is gonna be green. Lots of green. Lots of green, my friends. The bets were good. The bets were good. Bets are good. Tesla coming back down. While Ford goes up. What do we have here? Chart's so bad. The chart's terrible. Pretty hard to read a chart that people don't fucking trade on. Okay, doing well on Chewy. We're doing on Shag. Blah. Oh God. Okay. Okay, I want to do something. I want to put a bet on oil for Monday. I know I just talked about not doing short term and we're going to do long term, but I feel very antsy. I'm going to. It's just so tight right here, and it should be for the upside. We're going to use Gush and go fucking really fucking baller on it. We're going to go do some short term Gush. Short term Gusher. So let's get involved. Let's get involved. And Exely's doable too, but we're going to use the leverage. We're going to get levered out of our mind. Levered out of my goddamn mind. You can use XOP as well, right? XOP is the normal ETF. I'm going to use that as well for liquidity. So XOP and Gush. Oh God, fuck me. This is terrible. Terrible. April monthlies. Give them to me. 25% discount today. Give them to me. Give me that and your God. 69. Go baby. Yep. Good job, guys. You're doing great. You're doing good stuff. uh, yikes. Yikes. 69.70. April monthlies. Gosh. See you later. Good luck. Fucking at me. At me, boys. They call me low blow. Nice. Nice. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive on lows today, but I've already bought the rest of it. Might as well buy the tail. Bought this one. Might as well buy this one. Might as well make it all by Monday. We're just fucking at all-time high everywhere. So, betting against the market, you're stupid. Pros get some profit. Dan, Dirty Dan, giving us the old auto parts sector. Home builders continue, which is nice because we need more points out of that. PME continue. ENDP. Open, we got the the DKNG weekend trade. Retail stores continue. That has not stopped all day. Etsy coming back up, it looks like. We'll see what, again, I think there's melt during lunch. There's melt during lunch, green. The thing here on the NASDAQ is this supply that we created yesterday, touched again today. Let me see, where does this line up over here? Yeah, so we get a little bit of supply from even back in February, right? That's what we're sitting at right in here. And so during lunch, what happens? Well, less volume. We're going to start to move. I expect to melt through that supply. Expect those sellers not to be there. I think this is a good start. We might swing around, but I expect to melt at some point. And at least I expect us to be up next week. That's the bets. That's what we have. Because if we didn't expect things to be up on Monday, you might as well take profit right now. You could have took profit at open. You don't expect things to be up Monday, you better get out of your position. So, think about it, folks. If you don't think the market's going further, take this goddamn profit already. You're out of your mind. Yeah, retail stores off the lows. Everything's coming off the low. We've got some great fucking timing on lows today. Some very good timings. We'll see how this does. Let's see how this does. You can't really see it on the underlying. We're getting... It's all the same. It's all the same on the options. Spot hard to read. VA, how far and how long? Trending down, market makers. Market makers. So again, if the acceleration is not to the upside, the market makers sell to the downside. They don't need exposure, or they don't need to be hedged to the exposure. That's market makers. That's not trading. We're not in this position anymore, but we were going to pick it up today. Fucking squeeze this. All the other retail stores are already. I don't know if I can do this one myself, though. Already got 1 million volume today. Do some math. Not meth. Math. Do some math. How much would this cost? Do. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, this is all market makers. There's so many fucking contracts. They're just the market makers are just selling the underlying for these calls. Calls are down quite a bit today. So, unlikely they'd have to pay them at this point. A lot of calls out there. I can't even do anything. I mean, it's not much money. It's a pretty big quantity, but there's a lot of in the money. A lot of in the money. And IV is so low. IV is so low on April monthlies for WBA contracts. Under 30%. On at the money to out of the money is at under 30% IV. And they're down 40% today. Fuck. I need some money. Hold on. 50. I need some money. So from 55 to, how much is this? 55 is 1.65, and then the trend line is 5. So from 55 to 56. 55s are like 45 cents. 56 is 23 cents. So $45, $23. There's 11,000. So we need 50, 70. We would need about 50,000. Okay. We're loading up 55s, 56s. 55, 56. There's there's almost 11,500 contracts out there at 55s. But they're getting sold. And there's only 25% IV. Barely any volume on the contracts today whatsoever. Because no one wants to buy them. They're down 40, 50%. All we need is for Monday to open up higher, and you'll get all of that back. You're tapping at least 50%. That would be 100% if it does like up to the trend line. But it would take like 50 grand because you'd have to buy them all. You'd have to buy them all. Because if anyone sells more than I would buy, not gonna squeeze it. We're getting filled, so for whatever reason, no one wanted to buy those, and then as soon as someone puts in a block trade, it gets filled. Fucking hilarious. So weird, this chain. Very strange. I don't know. It's not a person. I don't think it's a person, but I'm not sure. I shouldn't be able to artificially move this so much. Not sure. Really not sure. I'm really not sure, folks. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. More research, right? So if I lose money, it will be research, right? We made over 1,000% last time. Think we're gonna be all right this time. Yeah. See you later. Sayonara. Oh, nice candles on S&P. See. Top of the list still staying the same. Tech side, everything's coming back up. Other things from lows. China, everything at the low, still looking terrible. But it's right at the break even. Viacom and Discovery are off that low that I got. So that's almost one. Yes, yay, we got at this candle here. That's almost one. Those are doing pretty good. Some of the other Chinese tickers that I got, they're doing a little bit better than Baba. To be expected. To be expected. Those are weekend trades. DraftKings turned out pretty well. DraftKings were now up almost 3% there. Got it on the bid candle. Why do again? It's you can obviously tell that it's not just me. People have the same. Again, everyone sees the same thing. It's not like right. So everyone seems to be buying everything at the same time. Mega cap's still looking good. We'll see how this turn goes, but they're all up, looking good. Microsoft coming back. Google, obviously the one that's up further up. Let me daily we're right there still, so very nice. Facebook in the same spot. So since they're already at their highs, right? So see how those do. Calm, still at 7. Travel, still looking decent enough. Holding value. That's up for the nice weekend trade. That was the point. Burning did come off a little bit. Didn't get, it looks just like the rest of growth. So it's just kind of doing the whole market's doing. So looks like we're still going to the upside. Etsy in the same spot. Uh, questions on like Peloton, obviously still from this low, but we're kind of betting on everything. So it's definitely possible to go buy this 3% discount. If you didn't buy fucking yesterday, so because you're up from this move. This was 7.5% yesterday, only 3% right now. So oh, and then you get things like Zoom, Disney, here, Netflix. These are all nice trades, I believe. Still, this from here, it wasn't at the break even yet. Now it's going bid back here. If we do get a melt up lunch and we do get all time high on the Nasdaq, then yes, these things will break through because they're all moving the average together. So you know, pretty interesting. And yeah, then we have the Gush trade that again this hasn't moved here, but if you get so P, we did get it off the low. So we got it off the low here on the oil trade. So about 0.5% there. Not not bad. Not bad. We'll see what this turns into. This is a pretty interesting bet to bet on oil. Not something it's everyone's doing it in the long term, but not in the short term. And I'm just going full technical and going chart basis. See how that looks on Monday. What we got? And again, we had all the bets from yesterday at lows. Those are doing pretty decent. And then all of our long trades on the growth side, value side, all looking great. Dow looks great. Still trading through all-time high. Fucking great. Push through the high. Give us the all-time high. They can be happy. Continue. GRBK off the support as well. Mentioned it earlier. This comes up to the trend line. Day traders are us. UGC coming off that low. UNH continues. PLTR was watching. It doesn't not getting much movement there. Retail's having a hard time today. Retail's having a hard time moving anything. AMC hasn't fucking budged. It's the smallest doji candle I've ever seen on this sizing. UI is doing fine still. Fucking bullshit. You can tell the direct influence. You can tell the direct influence of contracts. Why is the volume spiking at 11:10? 11:05 to 11:10. Why is the volume spiking across, beating even the volume at the open of today? Right? It's such bullshit. Fuck this market. Silly. Fucking silly. Hmm. Interesting. Look there on small caps. Banks coming back up. Banks, again, we're very long on banks. Been long on banks for a while now, and this last move has been very good. We talked about the pullback, why we should be continuing to take this trade, betting on individual banks. Someone should start a hedge fund that's just forcing gamma squeezes. Well, that's the point, is that it's obviously just going on all the time. And that's why when I say the underlying, the derivative of the options market. And the option market is literally just the market. Underlying is just showing you what's happening in the option market because it just fucking reacts to it immediately. Just immediately sometimes. If it's within that last week, if it's within the last week, you get some volume pop up on contracts. And then as soon as it stops buying, like it's like very direct, right? And so it's like everywhere and every time. As soon as the buying stops, oh, going back down, the acceleration stopped. And so it's like, of course, a hedge fund could just, that's when I talk about the orders just keep coming through and they have like periodic orders. It keeps the price moving, keeps it moving, right? And yeah, where we're at. It's the funny part is that it doesn't take much money because the options offer such leverage against the underlying, like 100 shares for a contract, and you could pay 10 cents for the fucking contract. So once it's actually near the price, you paid 10 cents for something that now needs to be hedged $10,000 against. Sometimes more than that, right? So it's like you have 10,000 10-cent calls at one point, and then each of those have an exposure of $10,000. Well, now we're talking about an ass load of money that has to be hedged against. And so then it's like, oh shit. But so then it just, it's like this guy, the Huang guy from Archegos. He lost what, $30 billion in 2 days because he was leveraged. I mean, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. 30 billion in 2 days? You know how much fucking money that is? But it's because that was the exposure. That was the exposure. He didn't bet $30 billion, but that's what the exposure was to his goddamn leverage. So then Credit Suisse, everyone has to fucking go pay like the 5 billion or whatever it actually was, right? Yeah, just give me 300x leverage, please. That'd be great. Some of those ridiculous brokers give you like 500x. The silly ones for like FX trading and Lightning Trader and all those dumbass ones, whatever they are, for morons. For instant trading, it's like 500x leverage. Insane. If you gave me 500x leverage and it wouldn't hurt me. God. Ridiculous. Very lunchy. Very lunch vibes. Yeah, retail banks I haven't really looked at because they're not doing anything. Just looking at the big banks. In the big banks. This is still on support for sure. Just trading flat. Need volatility. This move here was great. Getting all the small cap banks, regional banks. This move here was pretty nice when we got it. But this so far again, I've just completely ignored this for the most part. Small cap. We're just sort of in a we've really transitioned out of small caps into the big boys again. The things that matter. This looks so much better here. Big banks are just this trend is just it's gonna be sustained with buybacks. The thing here to remember is like when I'm saying that I expect the market to keep trending up, it's because there's an expectation that the market's gonna go up like months from now, right? So it's that macro idea. Why? What if we shouldn't use the what if word, but earnings, next earnings come up, if they're gonna do anything in the realm of what we've been doing and just continue to trend up and earnings are good, okay, well then there you go. Price is gonna go up. It's like, okay, COVID, we're getting confirmation of that the economy's opening back up. So if earnings confirm that, then now you have a whole new wave of people that go, oh, okay, so that's actually happening. Instead of just speculating on it. Right now, we're still just speculating, right? We have some things. We have the spending that came out, right? We had speculation on spending. The spending's actually happening. I mean, it hasn't passed yet. All these different things, right? Same with the idea of the economy opening up. Once we get confirmation of those, like when job numbers comes out, we get confirmation, then everyone goes, oh, okay, that's actually happening. Sometimes it causes some selling, but it should lead overall. So it's like we have earnings that will come up. If earnings are good, then market's going to continue to do well, and that's going to keep pushing price into the future. You know, all of these ideas in when you already look at the flow number and you know that there's more cash out there and you know inflation's going to happen. These things all lead to the market just being up further and further. Like not next week, yes, next week, but because in a year from now it's going to be up, right? And so it's like this is not. We're just trading in the moment, but we're talking here summer. Where's this? July. July. If we just stayed in the trend, we'd be at 469. We'd be at 469 by August. This is the trend we've been on for a fucking year. 469. How much is that? That'd be 15%, 14.5% in a few months. We do that in like a week sometimes. We do like we do 7% and shit in a week. We're gonna be fine. So yeah, it's just the timing loss, tempo loss, and then we trade the tempo loss, take the break, trade whatever else is betting on, but we trade it in the moments, right? Good job. Tom continues. Fuck me. Where's this trend? 21 something. Okay. It's fair. Fair enough. Fair enough. Nice one. Kings. Being stupid. Don't actually understand. Semis are still bought. Arriving Wednesday. Well, then where's the package, Amazon? Yeah. Some bullshit. Some bullshit. Just to see here, folks. It's not until we get closer to lunch, into lunch. I think the excitement is gone. There's not much else to see here. Of we'll see how these low trades. I mean, those low trades should be fine and hold. Wouldn't make too dumb of a trade. Look good. Whether the Nasdaq is gonna melt up or not, really just the question. And it really changes everything in terms of timing and dynamics. So we just have to wait. Might be in a few hours or something. 2 o'clock. I have to stay here and watch because there's too many different things. I'm trying to think what exactly I would do. I've already put everything I've got in. Worst case scenario, the market keeps going up and my positions keep going up. Best case scenario is I'm able to take profit on some of those and get better new positions when it's happening. But that's kind of what I've been doing. So I don't think there needs to be any more over management. The market starts going up, then great. That's what I fucking bet on in the first place. So don't think we need to be too critical about at this point. Now it's too late. Now it's not like, oh, we'll better take profit on this while the market's going up. Absolutely not. Give me more points. Pay me more. Great. It's like there are scenarios where obviously if you're deep in the money, like you want a better position so you can go further. Or if your expiration's coming up, you want more room. But we're just trying to capture this fucking thing right now. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I mean, I think we've done as much as we can, and we're gonna take advantage of as much as possible. I mean, we already have up to this point, but easy to get lazy, obviously, and be like, oh, I'm up the last 2 weeks. Don't need to do anything else. But I'm gonna capture all of it in the tail end here. Or this is just the beginning, right? Could just be the start. Honestly, the start. Oh, I didn't see LSU's question yesterday. Looking at DPST, seems to be consolidating over the last month. Bullish, bearish, or better banks to play? Oh, God. This seems like a fun one. Let's take a look. Well, so first of all, this is just the 3x ETF, and it has 225,000 average volume, and it doesn't even look like it's done anything. It's not even tracking the actual ETF, so it's not even actually leveraged because it's got no volume. No volume, and not a bank. Is a leveraged 3x ETF that is far behind even XLF. Would not touch it. There we did. I did it, guys. Amazon delivering my package with his new HOD. That's unbelievable. I order things every single day, and then the one time I actually want something, these fuckers cuck me like this. They tell me it's coming the next day, and then it doesn't come at midnight. They update it and say, your order's running late. It's still on its way to the factory or next place. Fucking, it's been 3 days. We have instant shipping. ECB. All of them coming off the low. Again, JRWG is the 100% better play. Not even close. Not even close. I wouldn't get cucked on these guys. I wouldn't get cucked on the ACB or CGC stuff or the other ETFs. It's just a little. It's just. This is just. It's so much better. This is 80%. This is 37% in a week. And this is not like Joe Schmo. Not Joe Schmo. Yeah, it's got larger market cap. Good. DGC is obviously bigger, but it does have larger market cap. What about BP? This is also, I mean, I was thinking about this as well, but it's like, it doesn't, this trade that we took over here, we knew how silly it was and what we were doing over here with the squeeze. And the timing with it with the others, it did not have the same sort of trade that happened over here that the others did. So it didn't get, it's not getting the same quantity. I don't think there's anything that can be done over. It could go up, but I don't think there's anything that on the option stands out as better as the others. Not going to be touching that one. SPG is now 1.5%. I mean, I still expect these all to go up, so. Mm-hmm. Hey, CLN, we keep going. This has been a very nice play so far. Get that up to the, get back up to the level here. We do the same trade again. We'll see what happens. Right? We're getting closer and closer to over here. This is where, again, this is the candle where this comes together. So then we're above the macro trend line. We've got support. We got a long way to go through here. Similar move. Dumb show. See, huh? Not much to see. Nothing really going on the macro side, so we kind of already had everything else wrapped up this week. Retail stores continue. If there's anything else to do with those? How are we doing on this shit? Just gotta keep going with it. Stick with it. Stick with it. VRM is off the support now, finally. Holding as well. BRKB coming back up to that resistance. We'll see what that does. I'm not really sure what this price action was over here. The problem with like BRKB, J&J is that they don't have very good liquidity. So they get pushed off of things very easy. I talked about this when we were looking to short months ago when we were doing shorts. You target those that have low liquidity. And so something like this has low liquidity. So because it doesn't really move much, right? Doesn't need much liquidity. This can happen around the level where it's not very exact, right? Looks very good. I like this play a lot. Big yeah. Okay. I mean, right there. I mean, the decision's gonna be made here. Decision's gonna be made here because we're right at the high. So LTR might be moving. Yup. Amazon will hit first price target. Well, let me tell you a little story. If it gets into here, that's the NASDAQ all-time high. That climbs the ladder. The next piece is this all-time high. This is the all-time high, 6%. So you get another 6%. But let me tell you another story. If that does get up here to the high, then we're going to have a whole new pattern. It's going to be a whole new thing. If you can find it, you let me know. Is now a good time? Hey guys, is now a good time to go? Can we go buy these things now? Hey, just woke up. Anything good to buy out here? The Nasdaq looks pretty good. You know what? I don't want to buy this. Anyone have any good penny stocks to buy? Anybody have any good penny stocks I could become a millionaire on? Like by next week? I don't really know much about stocks, but I heard penny stocks is the way to become a millionaire because there's so many stories about the millionaire penny makers. And then can you put some technical analysis on those penny stocks for me? Brian, you mentioned the Golden Cross and like Death Cross thing. Fucking cracking me up. That shit is so stupid. Imagine thinking things like that fucking matter. Holy shit. Oh my god. Sam used to fucking bug me about that stuff all the time, and I'm like, dude, you just have to shut the fuck up. That's not a thing. What do you mean it passed the Golden Cross? Are they talking about it on CNN or something? What's going on here? Well, it's a death cross, you see, and so it's you have no idea what's about to happen. We're about to enter the Golden Cross. The Golden Armada of points are coming here, baby. Like, okay, we're crossing some averages. All right. Does price ever stop for a fucking? The reason why I stopped using moving averages and only use my own lines, because you can use other things for levels. I mean, that's fine, but it's an average, it's lagging. Obviously, if you use an average, you know it's lagging. Because if you have like the last 10 bars are a part of your average, then you're 10 bars behind. You're an average, right? So that's fine. You know that, and you can use it for analysis. But the reason I stopped using it is because price doesn't stop moving just because some fucking average. Price continues moving, right? It's one thing that we have a support or resistance and price stops there. That's because that's where buyers and sellers are. An average is not that, right? Sometimes it will happen where things will bounce on those things. But I can tell you it's not fucking correlated, right? And price does not stop moving. It's like saying, well, price has now crossed over this moving average or crossed this fucking golden cross, some bullshit. These long-term averages. Price doesn't stop moving because of that. It's gonna keep going. And so what changes things now, right? And so that's where anytime you look at that shit, if you actually just look at it, it it's so funny that people actually even try to use it, because if you just look at price, there's been no point at when those things actually cause price to do something else. It literally doesn't do anything. So what's the fucking point in the first place? That's like if I right now, we can all see that there's some supply here, right? That's like if I right now said, well, listen, what you don't understand is there's this cup right here. There's this cup right here holding this price. See this oval? This right here this is what I call an elongated circle. It's kind of an oval. And see, this is an ovular resistance. And so you see how price is being held on it on these here? That's because this is the average range. It's called the perimeter. I actually learned it in elementary school. It's called the perimeter. And you see what we do is actually if we add up all of this, all of the lengths and in the widths, we'll actually get the total perimeter. And if you get that total perimeter, what you'll actually see is actually how far price will move. And so 5 plus 3 equals 7. Oh, excuse me, that's actually 8. And so 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so here's where price is going to be right over here. And I call this the ovular perimeter test here. And also, you can also use fibular circles, and you'll see the same thing. But I just wanted to do it in my own way here. See how this is a perimeter, and this is the target. So this is where the price. Hold on, how do I? Actually, I read something that says I probably shouldn't do this on intraday charts, but I still do it anyway. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here, phonies. If I see any more goddamn fib lines on an intraday chart, I'm gonna fucking hang myself. And they just start them from anywhere. They literally start it from anywhere. See, this is the 236 fib line. Do you see this? That's what that is. And they start it from anywhere. Okay, first of all, if you're really gonna do this, you need to do it from the fucking daily to use this, you need to start it from the trend. It would need to be from a trend. And guess what the trend would be? It'd be fucking all the way down here. and you'd put it from this low because this was the last time we actually had a thing, and you put it to the goddamn high, and here's the high over here, and that's how you would do it. This is how you would literally have to do it. Okay, and you will have things here that line up. Absolutely. You know what you can't do? You know what you can't do? Is then take this and every fucking day put a new goddamn fib line. Stupid thing. That's not how price works. It's this is one thing. And this will give you some sort of analysis because fucking human nature, right? But to then take this is where it would be. And it's just like how I'll draw support levels. I don't use fib levels because I'll just find the actual wicks itself, right? I'll find the actual converging price and draw it myself. But this still will still piss me off. This is where it would need to be drawn from, and you can't draw a new one. You can't draw a new one until you have a new high. And this is it. This is it. This is what you got. And you have some nice levels in here, right? Some nice levels in here. Take that. Some of them are not great, and some of them, not perfect. And that's where you can just line up your own. But you can definitely use this for some different things. For analysis. You don't use it to trade. You would never use it to trade, but use it for analysis of understanding. And this is where you can use this and use multiple fibs. You use multiple. And I've done this before, and I've done some different math pieces on it. Uh, some time ago. We take it from like the low of the financial crisis or something. We'll use November 28th. And then you put this to the high. What you can do, put this to the high here as well. And what you can do is then get multiple fib lines that come through. And as they start to converge, right, here they're all separated. But as you do this, go from every single low, what you'll do is you'll start to get some overlapping fib lines, which is exactly what you look for, are these clusters, this convergence, right? And that's what you look for, and then that would be a strong level, just like we use levels, but that's why we don't waste our time doing that, because we can just use we can just draw our own fucking manual lines. That's fine for analysis like that. I have no problem with that, and there's plenty of people that do that. You cannot start doing this. You cannot start doing this shit. And start doing some weird thing where you're not even lining up. You're literally trying to draw a support line like I would. And you go, see, right here, this 0.5. Look where you drew it to. Right? Just draw the fucking support line then. This is not fib analysis. No, please. Please, no. Anyway, the fibs told, I mean, honestly, I'm a fucking liar because the fibs told me that the fib lines told me that we're going to go to all-time high because that's what they tell you. They tell you everything you need to know. So, well, actually, that line did say we're going to get rejected. Fuck. Damn it. Okay, never mind. We're going to get rejected. Based on fib analysis, we're going to get rejected. This is actually going pretty quick, though, so I don't know if I trust some fibs too much anymore. Lol. But if you look at this one, though, what I would say is that see how this is kind of, it trades in between these zones here. Yeah. Anyway, don't even get me started on. Don't even get me started on Elliott waves. Don't even get me started. Oh god, one of the funniest fucking things there is out there. I'm completely fine with the idea of these, and I've talked about them before. And but you can't just like randomly start. You're literally just drawing them anywhere you want and making it up. Like that's not how this works. And then they reshift them all the time, and they have to we have to redo them all the time. And they go, actually, this wasn't wave one, this was wave two, or this was wave three, and then they redraw them. And then so where and how like this kind of shit is you're literally just looking at the chart. Just look at it and stop trying to make up some weird concept. Just look at it. Okay, price pulled back. It broke out of the consolidation. It started consolidating again. It broadened a bit, got volatile. It broke out of that. Okay, this pullback's a little bit more controlled. It's not as volatile here. This is this volatility here led to the upside. This here had less volatility, which should lead to better upside because there's less volatility, and the volatility should be more controlled, which should be more price movement because volatility leads to price moves. But if it's not directional, it's going to cause consolidation and less price direction. If volatility exists in a break, but it's within a direction, it's going to cause price movement to the upside, which is velocity. So we had speed, this is velocity. We can bet on this move that's pulling back that it's going to put this here. Or, you know what? You can say fuck it and say, you know what? I'm going to bet that this is wave. Fuck, that's the fib. This is definitely wave five, motherfuckers. This is going to be the wave five right here of our dreams. And so I knew that this was wave two and it was going to be this and this. And this wave five is going to be the dream. But actually, oh shit, actually, wave three in the Elliott wave fucking pamphlet says that wave three should be bigger. So this wave five should be smaller. So based on Elliott waves, we should have already got the fuck out of this position. Because that's what Elliott waves say. They say that this wave three is the largest. Yeah, I've read the fucking shit. Come debate me. Come debate me, Elliott wave fuckers. Come debate me. What fucking wave we in? And where did you start the wave? Exactly. You could have started up your own fucking ass. You have no clue. Why don't you just trade? Fucking phonies. Wave 6 done. When does wave A, B, C start, Don? When do we get from the numbers to the letters, Don? They just keep going. They literally just keep going, and then you just start making up more letters, and you have a bunch of smaller letters within the big moves. Like guys, just fucking look. You're spending all the time looking at the price. Just look at the fucking price. Wave 6 is Monday. We're going down. But what if wave 6 starts on an intraday candle? Fuck. We're out of our minds. Oh well. Okay. That's okay. We're the bullshitters. We're the phonies over here. You know what they say? Just make money, I guess, and keep or what is it? Fake it and fake it until you make it, right? Fake, fake the money and the moves here all the time. Just keep doing it. Doing good job, guys. You guys are doing great. Guessing. Keep guessing, guys. You're doing great. Just keep buying at the lows and selling at the highs. You're doing great. But this seems like a great opportunity. You have no idea. It's in their phase 3 trial. And trust me, I'm the only one that's read this. No one else has seen this pamphlet that I've seen. They're in phase 3 and nobody else has this information. Just to keep reminding you. And so if we buy this right now, before this data comes out, and when the whole public sees this data, they're all going to want to buy it. So let me tell you, based on that, we have to get in. I'm telling my mom, we're going to buy this for the phase 3 trial. Now listen, my cousin Greg works at the facility, and they sold more vacuums this quarter. I know for a fact. Wait, so should we buy it? I've heard that earnings sometimes go down. or price sometimes goes down after earnings. Gilt did make its move. And it's coming back up. We'll see what that does to ominous font. Hard to tell how much of that move is being made up of this. We're coming back, okay. Nice. Yield-wise, still at that level. Oh. Oh. See what that. FL continues. This has been pretty nice so far. Again, these retail stores are also fucking all over the place. This is a nice weekend trade. I think it's a nice weekend. See what that turns into. Here we go. Would be nice to get paid on. This trade over here was nice. I think it's these kind of obvious ones where we don't have to really again, it's not like we did homework on it, and so yesterday we just started to see the price move here, and it's like, okay, this is just it's just obvious, and so we take the trade, and since we're up, it's like, okay, we stay in this trade. We're expecting a squeeze, and so now you're getting more here continuing when the volume is dropping, right? So again, we know that there's a lot of squeeze involved with these kind of tickers. So triple BY, the old Bed Bath and Beyond, Gamma squeeze coming through. I do prefer these over because it's just they're more obvious, and we know that it's not something else. The hardest thing is that with this whole idea is that you don't really know unless it's fucking screaming in front of your eyeballs, and this screams in front of your fucking eyeballs. So it's this kind of stuff that we can confidently take, and we can trade it accordingly. We're not going to trade this based off of uh on some other idea, right? We're not sitting here going, well, let's take a look here. We've got a lot of supply in here. And we don't think about anything. We're just thinking about the move that's within, and if it doesn't continue the move, then we get out of it because it needs the constant acceleration to keep getting squeezed, right? For the underlying to be bought. So we play these positions based purely on the gamma squeeze idea. And when you have a clear plan like that, it doesn't matter if you react the wrong way to something. Like, so for instance, we're only going to react to things as if it's only a part of a gamma squeeze. So if price starts to come down, we're going to get out of it. Like if it's on a trend or something that is breaking its acceleration, we're going to exit it because of the gamma squeeze idea, even if it's not because of that. We just treat everything as a one-to-one of that idea, right? And so that's how these just become yes/no trades, and then become one and zeros basically, right? Of how we manage it. There's no in between. We don't. It's like you could look at one stock and think of its technicals. You could think of its fundamentals. You could think of the flows that come in. You can think of maybe the social media presence that speaks about it, what people have anxiety for, what the option market's doing around it. This play, is it getting squeezed? Is it not? That's it. And that's a level, uh, it's a level of simplification that allows for profit. I like those because it's just helps with some of the other complex things that we get going on. Too much, many different things to do. Hoping to get out of here. We're gonna take a break here in a second, but just see if we get a tick here. This was already confirmation. This candle that we already saw was confirmation. Broke through the high end. We already see it on the mega caps, right? Amazon going here. It's everything that we talked about, right? Everything we talked about. Everything. Everything we talked about. What we're betting on. Fucking fucking eating lunches today, boys. We are eating lunches today. I don't mean literally eating lunch because I'm going to fast until 5 o'clock still. But I'm fucking stealing lunches. Today is definitely a lunch stealing day. A lot of the people that sell today are people. They're not market makers. You're going to get filled by normal people. Normal people will sell you their position. I love that feeling. I love to know that I'm going to buy something from somebody and they're going to watch the price go up and then they're going to want to buy it back from me. Spoon says no Hot Pockets for me today. I think Spoon also said lots of percent yesterday for profit. So he's going to have, what are you going to have? What do you guys eat besides Hot Pockets and pizza rolls? Happy Meal? Jesus. And quesadillas. I wouldn't know. I literally only go out to eat and order food. That's it. I haven't cooked at my apartment yet. Poke bowl. I like poke. Okay. Unbelievable. We're doing good, guys. We keep it. We listen. We keep working. Keep working. I think worth it. It's worth it. When do we stop working so hard? I don't know. We have a lot of fun. I mean, the making money part is fun. Makes me happy. This is fuck. We did it, boys. Got a lot of unrealized. Got a lot of unrealized. And this is right there. We got paid on the fucking Dow play. We got paid on value. We got paid on small cap. We got paid on this move. We didn't get hurt during this move. We got shorts that came through. Been really on fire. Wasn't sure how well we were going to do after this year here because this was so much and I'm not going to make as much money probably. Won't make as much money. But taking everything in stride. So it's definitely a good start. I mean, it hasn't been that difficult of a year. I mean, I guess it's been difficult. It's definitely not as difficult as this, but it's definitely more difficult than this. The only thing we had to worry about was fucking Trump tweets. 2017 was it was a little bit fucking dry because we couldn't do anything, but I talked about this already, just going long. 2015 blue. Don't remember any good trades from 2015. This was all good. Obama was good to us. But this, yep. I mean, this is very short term oriented. We're taking advantage of the moments. We keep it working. Keep it working. It's going very well. I think got the right mindset at least. Get the right mindset here. So the method's working. We've been aggressive, been very aggressive, and I think that's where hindsight capital will tell you to be aggressive and to put money on the line in these moments. Hindsight capital will. And so we just do it when it's actually the moment and say, fuck you, hindsight capital. I am in the money capital, in the moment capital. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. And we're even betting now. And it's so funny to still think that we can get barely any points here and make a lot of money here. really weird to think about, but it's actually true that barely any moves here, we're gonna make a lot of money on this. This candle here, I mean, what else do we have? I mean, I don't know what else to fucking tell you guys. You didn't buy, then that's your own fucking problem. But FOMO'd out of your mind. How many weeks has it been? You'll love it. All right, I'm gonna take a break for lunch, folks. You have to love it. You have to love it. Let's take a break, drink some water, get some exercise. I need some exercise. I gotta get my body going. Jesus. Fucking unhealthy as shit recently. Not really, I'm fucking lying, but I'm gonna get some exercise. I will talk to you guys this afternoon. Reminder, all-time high, what's gonna happen. Also reminder of the violence that can happen in the market if that does happen. Uh like I just want to make sure we're all aware that it's more volatility that comes. It's not less volatility. It's more volatility. So keep that in mind, because think of where we are. You get big move this way, you get a big move that way. So this is again where you are, all you're doing when you're in a position is asking yourself constantly, what is the point at which I can push my risk to the utmost? What can I push it right to the fucking edge where I'm pushing this position until I can't push it anymore? Now you have a weekend to deal with. You're trying to manage that and also put positions on that maybe are new positions because you answered that question and said, no, I have to exit this position, take the profit, take it home. And now you're like, well, now I got to do something with this money. And there's positions that I can push and grab. Remember, these things are all going to happen instantly. And if you don't already know, then that means you should just take profit. You don't know what you're going to do with your position, you should just always take profit, right? Don't lose your money. Take it. There'll be more opportunities. We're fucking bought here today, so don't worry about it. But I think everyone's basically doing the same thing here, so keep it up. Don't fuck up lunch for no reason. So I'm gonna fuck off. Enjoy your lunch. I'll see you in the afternoon.